Whoa! I can buy a Japanese castle for how much? 64,000 USD? Really? You can actually buy one. But it's not a real castle. It's a replica. A smaller version of a castle. But you can still live there. Before, this used to be a hotel and restaurant. And was located in Hokkaido, north of Japan. Typically has a lot of snow, and during the summertime it's very beautiful with lots of flowers and events, delicious food, and it's well known for their famous miso ramen and seafood. They have just everything there, all different kinds of foods. And the snowfall is pretty thick. And one of the reasons why they are selling this is because Japanese people do not want to buy this property. And it stays empty and vacant. And this is called Akiya. Japanese sign language, Akiya. The A means empty or sky. Ya means house, Aki. So empty or just vacant. In ASL, a vacant home. Most people assign Akiya and spell it out, Akiya. Now, the biggest problems with these Akiyas is, and why there's so many, is because many people in the past used to live in the countryside, and now all the young people have moved to the big cities, such as Tokyo, Osaka, and other big cities. And the reason is for work. In the past, people would live in the countryside and earn their money through rice farming, and that has decreased severely, including many young people moving out, and people who are living in the countryside are just not giving birth anymore. And everyone who's moving to these small apartments in these big cities, they're like living in a shoebox. And now there's just a gluttony of many akiyas listed for sale just everywhere. And many foreigners will look at these prices and think like, wow, these are so affordable. I can buy an Akiya and I can still keep my home in America or in another country and still have two properties. Now the thing is, they don't realize that there's a lot of repair costs and ongoing maintenance costs. For this particular castle replica, is a huge expense would be repairing the roof. It snows and rains a lot, and then during the summertime it gets beaten down by the sun. So there's a lot more maintenance costs. If you're handy and you can fix it by yourself, then it's great. But then there's a lot of unique Japanese techniques for these maintenance and repairs. So you might have to hire a local person to actually do the roof repairs. I mean, you can invest if you want. No one's stopping you. The Japanese government allows foreigners to invest in real estate. You don't need a special visa for it. You can purchase it property on your own. You just have to keep paying for property taxes. And of course, if you're going to negotiate on purchasing a property, you may have to use a realtor, a local realtor, such as a Century 21 in Hokkaido. And they are specialists that can help foreigners buy real estate in Japan. Now, this roof repair can cost up to $50,000, so it's quite a big expense. And the property tax can range between $7,000 to $8,000 a year. There is also an elevator in this castle, and you think that having an elevator is really cool, but you gotta remember that there are maintenance association costs with the elevator, especially hiring a elevator inspector. And when I used to have a property in Hawaii in an old hotel, they were estimating the cost for replacing the elevator for one elevator was going to be about $600,000. And that elevator was from the first floor to the 12th floor. So it's not cheap. And with this 6-story castle replica, there's a lot of piping and electrical work that needs to be repaired or replaced. This is close to Furano, and this used to be a mining town, which in the 70s and 60s there was a large population, but now it's shrunk down to about 8,000 people in this town. So you can't rely on local customers. You're gonna have to rely on tourists. And the good thing is, it is close to Furano, and that is famous for a ski resort town. A lot of visitors come for skiing, and many people will be visiting for the snow sports and winter sports. But what do you do during the summertime? Unless you yourself are a entrepreneur and you feel like you can make it work, maybe you can do an Airbnb, or maybe you can even add um, cooking and meals to your Airbnb. There is a large restaurant in this castle, but you may need to get new equipment because all the equipment is outdated. You'll need to figure out how to get a food license and be up to code. There's a lot of things you need to get before you can actually create a business, even if you feel like you really, really, really can do it. And if you don't hire a local chef, you're going to have visitors who are going to come and they don't want non-Japanese meals. They want a Japanese experience. So they're going to be expecting for Japanese meals, and you're going to have to hire staff to take care of the front of the house at a restaurant. So, well, maybe you're not thinking about the restaurant business. Maybe you're thinking about just having an Airbnb and just having a place for people to sleep, shower, restrooms. Maybe you can add some other uh, services such as maybe costumes or photography services, and maybe you can get some people to come and visit. That's possible. Or you're a social media influencer and you have 7 other friends. Y'all can agree and split the cost for buying this property. Everyone pitches in $10,000 each, and splits the cost of the renovation of the elevators and roof repairs between 7 people. That is definitely doable, and you can kind of have your own timeshare amongst yourselves. Like, I'll go during one month, or you go the next month, or I mean, there's plenty of room, so you can all probably have everybody come together and fly in and enjoy, making your selfies, recording stuff that's going on in the city, the local town, go skiing. Nothing's stopping you, but you got to remember, it's a big investment. And I agree with you, it is cheap. With my real estate experience, I look at a property like this and I always think about, what is my plan B? If everything is running well and people are visiting and staying, and they're booking rooms and they're eating, and it becomes a tourist attraction, and it helps that there's a ski resort nearby. Well, what happens when um, I get older, or if one of my partners decides to sell, or give up their portion of the business? Will I have to buy them out? And you know there's a lot of different problems that can pop up. So if you really, really want to challenge yourself and buy this property, like, this is my goal, I want to live in Japan, I really, really want to have the real Japanese experience, I want to have a property there, I mean, this is definitely going to be a unique experience. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to answer you. And this property has exploded all over social media. I think there's 3 million views, and a lot of people are like, yeah, I can buy a Japanese castle and I can live there. Again, this is the sign for castle in Japanese Sign Language. Oshiro, oshiro, oshiro. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you really did enjoy watching it, please click share and thumbs up, and also subscribe. Thank you so much for your support, for over many years, and I did take a hiatus, and now I'm trying to get back into making more content related to Japanese culture, interests, history, and food, and different kind of things. So I'll try to include some Japanese sign language. Yep. If you want to learn some more JSL, you can look at the description and see the link. There are many Japanese deaf people who are teaching Japanese Sign Language. I don't know if they're still creating more content, but you can click on the link and check out their YouTube channels and see what they have posted. Take care.